all my friends and all of my subscribers who are actually sort of like my friends. Okay, so today I'm live here in the top of the hotel. I thought it might be fun to do something outside for it. Here's the big news. I'll give you the big news first. Yesterday, I got a text from some talent agency that I've been in contact with over the last several months since I got here. Because working with a talent agency, not because I'm so pretty, but because you can get a work visa and it's better than getting a 90-day visa because the work visa is for a year long. So my workaround is to get a job as a talent, as a model, because I'm an old man, old white man, or as an actor, which would really be fun. So yesterday I got a call from them, a text from them, and they said, oh, we have this big job coming up and here are all these people that we need. We need black, we need Chinese, we need Asian, we need women, we need lesbians, we need everybody. So so I said, oh, okay, I'm in, I'm available. And then they were like, okay, well, send us your reel. I don't have a reel. So I quickly went to AI. I said, write a script for me as a one person to be in like a mob movie or something, like a dialogue for a thing. AI gave me something. I said, no, it needs to be edgier. And then it gave me something, and I said, now it needs to be more profound. And then it gave me something else. I tweaked it a little, and then I put it on a teleprompter thing, and I recorded it, and like 3 times. And on the third one, I said, that's good enough. So I sent it, because the guy was in a hurry. He's like, you need to send me this stuff right now. So the agent was really quick. So I sent the thing. Then he said, send me another one with an introduction to yourself, like just not acting, just saying like, oh, hi, I'm Timo Elliott, my size, my weight, and all that stuff. I did that like at lunch, at dinner, because he was like, I need this stuff. I can send it to the people in China. So, and this is a big deal trilogy film in China with the big director and everything. So I did that at the dinner table, sent it off. And then by that night, he's like, okay, we're booking you a ticket. They like you, you're hired. I got hired as, get this, the old man. So I'm the old man in this scene, but I have to tell you, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Probably not acting, probably just being in a crowd, because it has a cast of thousands. And you'd think they do all this with people from AI, like just make it up in an animation or something. But it's not like that. It's I guess they're hiring hundreds of people to do this job. So they're flying me out. They booked the flight. The hotel. They said bring a towel, whatever that means. I'm like, what does this mean? Bring a towel? Like, it's a hotel, right? We're staying. Am I going to stay in a tent? Anyways, it's about 28 degrees Fahrenheit. It's 3 degrees Celsius there right now in Qingdao, China. And so anyways, it's very cold. He said, bring a towel and bring a coat. So that's the thing. They booked it. I'm booked. I'm flying out either tonight or tomorrow. So the name of the project is The Wandering Earth, Part 3. So look for that. And in the meantime, I'm trying to stay healthy, active, like keep my energy up. And so I went, I spared no expense. I spent $1 for the moped ride to the beach this morning, where I did my exercises with all the people, my favorite beach. You do this, you're doing this. And so I went there, totally worth the price of admission. All the usual suspects were there. I did not go for a swim due to an injury, which keeps me out of the water for a little while. But that doesn't mean I can't exercise. So I'm doing the exercise. I have so much more energy. You do this, I just do all the things. I copy all the things all the people are doing. They're doing this, they're doing all those things you see people doing in China in groups. They do it not at sunrise, before sunrise. By sunrise, everyone's leaving or going for coffee, or actually most of the people who are there for coffee are also leaving by the time the sun rises. So I did that, and then because I thought I was going to fly last night, but I didn't. I ate all my snacks for the plane. So I walked to a store where I knew I could get not snacks, but some sausage, some protein. So I have my stuff that's ready for my carry-on and my personal bag, and that's all I get. And so I have my food for the trip. They're sending me the ticket today. I've already checked my big luggage here at the hotel. I told them I'm going to be away for 3 weeks. It'll be okay. So it's already, that's already gone. I That's the big news. The other news is, okay, this is not really news, but it's something that I'm experimenting with. You know, well, it's two things. First of all, this hotel was very inexpensive. I'm not even going to tell you the price because I don't want everyone just crowding in here. But it's very inexpensive. It's an old school hotel. When I mean old school in Da Nang, old school means 20 or 30 years old, because there were no hotels here 30 years ago, not like this, like high rises. That was the beginning of the boom. This was this beach was called China Beach, and it's where everyone in Vietnam during the American soldiers in Vietnam came for R&R. So anyway, I've had this hotel. It's very inexpensive, and for a couple of extra bucks, it included a breakfast. So I'm like, you know, at this price, I can just stay there and have one decent meal a day without spending any more additional money. So that's what I did. But it's kind of weird. I have to say the food here, oh, privacy guard, your privacy, don't buy the community skyline. Oh, okay. There's a note that came up. So, the thing is, the food here isn't that good, but you know, it's something. And the people who are staying at this hotel, probably because it's very affordable, and it's like this old school kind of place that's like a standard, you know, good quality, big rooms. I have a balcony. I love it. High floor, king size bed, everything's good. So don't think when I say it's affordable that it's not good. It's a good hotel. It's just not overly, like, it's not the Hilton. It's not stupidly, they don't clean every single day all the time. There's not always someone knocking at the door. Housekeeping. So the thing is, the food, so you got to go, I learned, you better go early for these buffet things because after the first 5 minutes, it could be a disaster. People could have taken their stuff away. So you got to get there right at the crack. And for here, it's some places at 6. Here it's 6:30. So at the 6:30, 6:25, I am there, claiming my seat and getting my coffee and everything ready. Oh look, thanks and likes. I like that. Thank you. I don't know who's watching, but 7 people. That's great. The likes. So you're there, and the people who are here are not like expatty types. They're lots of Koreans and Chinese and people visiting from Southeast Asia who are on a budget, and like bus travelers, and there are a couple of expaty types from other places, but they're all, you would not believe how much a Chinese woman, or I don't know what nationality this woman is, can pack on their plate, little tiny, and they just, you know, it's free food. You see it everywhere. You see it at the opera company, you know, when they have a big buffet or a banquet or something. People just hoard and hoard. They eat and eat. So the point is, I'm there early, and I'm noticing people, and I have this cynical attitude, like, oh, who's that woman? She's running a moo-moo, and ugh, like, that's her deal. Like, I'm so judgmental and so weird and wrong. So the other day, I heard this woman who I had made these assumptions about, and yeah, she's wearing moo-moo. She's like little, well, she's younger than me. She's like probably like 48 or something. So I was just there eating my little schlog or whatever it is, and overhearing conversations, and I heard her say to her table of people, when I was 20, I traveled all throughout India. And I thought to myself, that is wild. Here's this woman who I had these assumptions about, and she's traveling India when she's 20, like in like the 1979s or 1989, 1990. That was wild times still in China. Like, that's rough and tumble territory. And she's an American, I found out. I thought she was English because she acts that way and she dresses that way. But now it turns out. So what I did was, this morning I went over to her. I had it all figured out, my dialogue. And I go like, I have my coffee, I'm leaving, I've already been there, she's there. And I go, oh, excuse me, pardon me for interrupting. Good morning, good morning. She had a male friend there. And I said, don't think I was trying to intrude, but I couldn't help but overhear the other day that you had spent some of the years in your 20s in Paris. She goes, no, that's not me. I said, no, but I overhear you say something. You must have traveled someplace. You went someplace when you're in your 20s. And she said, "Oh, you mean India?" I said, "That's what it was. It was India." So I said, "Would you regale me with a story from India in your 20s?" And then her face lit up, and it was so great. She wasn't mad. She was happy to tell a story and how she got there and who she was. And I learned a great, oh, thank you. Your story sucks, someone said. So I learned it's not, my stories aren't for everybody. He's an old man. He's trying. I'm not really trying. This is not for you people. It's for my friends who already know me. So for them, I'm just their friend who's traveling. So it's not for you. It's for me saving to tell the story a million times to my people over the phone or on WhatsApp or whatever. So I'm gonna have to just ignore those. Besides, old men. Let me do my old man thing. First of all, he's an old man trying. There's this thing happening now, and it's like I see it on ads. Oh, if you're over 40, and it's an AI voice, and you don't know how to use AI, and you're still using AI like it's Google, then you're missing the boat. Like, you need to get with the program and learn all these AI techniques so that you can get with the program. I'm like, I know more about AI than about 95% of any of the other people, because no one experiments with it the way. And I was doing Sora 2 like 6 weeks ago when it first launched. I'm already so over Sora 2. I got rid of the people who didn't like me. You can watch. There's like one person watching now, but I'm not going for views because people watch this later on, like my friends. So I don't really care about any of that stuff. So that's my stuff. I don't understand this resentment towards people who are over 50 or 60, or people like Bill Maher who are resentful of people who are under 30 or 20. Like, oh, those kids, they're all lazy. And it's as bad as Democrats and Republicans hating each other. Like, young people hating old people is no good, and old people hating young people, no good. Like, there's got to be some point where people come to some kind of logical conclusion that it's not really. I don't understand. How does everybody make everything all about them? Is the thing. It's like everyone's got a Meester's degree, and they think that they're like they run the world. I have a member of my family, and she says, she's like, you have to understand, I am the sun, and my children and my husband and are moons and planets going around me. That is not. It's not egocentric. It comes from insecurity of like, you need to be the center of the universe. Not everybody's the center of the universe. Nobody is the center of the universe. And so people have got to get over this thing where they're the center of the universe. And because it's not healthy for them. I'm sure I was guilty of that at some point in my artistic process. Like, me, I'm so interesting, I'm so creative, I have so many things I could do. Like, yeah, and yet do none of them. I have a question. This is a question that a profound realization I made yesterday. I was watching randomly, just because it was on the television. There's only so many channels that are in English here. And so I just happened to click the TV on when this the movie called Steve Jobs was on. And I kind of caught it at the beginning, so I watched it all the way through. And it was really great. And Steve Jobs is one of those people who's like, I'm the center of the universe, I'm a genius, everyone's gonna catch up to me. And in his case, it's true. But nevertheless, well, you realize from the course of the film that his relationship with his daughter is like, you may be the center of your universe, but you have a daughter who needs your attention. And so she needs to be the center of your universe, not you be the center of her universe. So it's like he comes to this realization, and I thought, wow, that's so great that he really, and his friend said, this is the thing where you have a warped sense of reality. What you think is the reality, and it's not. What you think is the reality is your reality. It's not the reality. when that was revealed at the end of the film, it's very dramatic because he's having a conversation with his daughter, and spoiler alert, and he's like, I have to admit, he doesn't say I'm sorry, but he says I'm a broken person. Like I'm not a perfect man. So those things that I did to you when you were younger, and I didn't acknowledge that you were my own child, and et cetera, et cetera. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry, I'm broken. And that went a long way to solving this relationship problem. So the thing is, so I was thinking to myself, here's this genius, Steve Jobs, who did so much and at such a cost, and walked his own path at such a cost, and did all of his own things at such a cost. But and he had so many failures along the way. But by the end, he's the man who created the modern computer that allowed everyone to access the internet, which Al Gore invented. So he's a huge giant, right, of a thinker like Edison or something. So when I realized here's this guy, he's like a genius, and he did so much, I thought, oh, that's how I feel. I always felt like I was some kind of a genius. But then, and I did this, I did art, I did filmmaking, I worked in writing, I did advertising, I did branding, I did everything. All these had a film festival, did all these things. And did any of them lead to the next thing naturally? Like, oh, now he's a big success. He has a huge, this thing, all that. For one reason or another, none of those things happened. So I'm like, oh, Steve Jobs, he's like a genius. He's a genius. But then eventually he was known for doing, lots of times he was considered a failure until the end, and then he was famous because he created this incredible communication thing called the iComputer, iMac. So my point is, here's my question. It's like a riddle. He's a genius. And I said, I feel that way, only I didn't have all the success. So then I said, what is a genius who's done? So I said to myself, I'm like a genius who didn't do anything. Like nothing happened for me. Like I did all these little things. I had these little wins. I had lots of failures, and I had lots of little wins, but nothing stacked up to mean a whole bunch of stuff. So what I'm saying is, here's my question. I said, oh, I'm like a genius. I'm sorry, but and you're thinking like, when I say genius, I mean like I'm this really smart guy, did all these good things, but it didn't amount to much. So then my question was to me like, what do you call a genius who's done nothing? What do you call a genius who's done nothing, like achieved nothing in their life? And then the answer came to me. Here's the answer. What do you call a genius who's achieved nothing, who's done nothing? You call that genius Buddha.